What's up? We're back.
What's up, buddy?
We're back again. Crazy, dude. I was talking to Mark about just the time going by. Like it's fucking August. It's August.
It's August. August. And since the last time we met, I am a year older. Imagine that.
That's right. Happy birthday to Corey.
Thank you, sir.
Also, Jed that was on.
That's right. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it seems like the summer's big for lots and lots and lots of birthdays.
It's that like these Saturdays go incredibly quick from episode to episode, which is pretty wild.
Oh God!
This is what number? What are we on? Number 6, right?
Yep, number 6.
I just like I can't get over it, man.
It's crazy.
It's totally crazy.
There's so much planning, you know, things that go into the back and forth and just kind of talking about it and stuff. And I think that's what makes the week even go by that much faster, because it's like, you know, you're busy with stuff, but then you're thinking about this and all that. So there's planning that goes in. It makes the time go by.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's so cool. I'm glad everybody comes and hangs out with us. It's wicked. Saturday nights are fun. Still, you know, just doing the fucking social distancing, isolation to a certain degree. Of course, things are kind of opening up stuff. Are you still working from home, Cor?
I am.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not making anything mandatory right now. I know if people want to go in, they can. There's a certain schedule where it's kind of staggered days during the week, things like that. I think they're going to have everybody working from home on Fridays, but they're not really forcing anybody to go in. I mean, there's still so much that's, you know, obviously issues, and people have their own concerns and different things going on, worrying about kids and, you know, dealing with the home care, you know, which I know you guys have to deal with.
Yeah.
Jerry Garcia today.
Oh, it is today. No shit. Wow.
Yeah. He would have been, I think 78. I saw something like that.
Shit. Keep on trucking. Keep on trucking.
You know, hell in a bucket, baby.
So, yeah, it's crazy. Like, I'm back to the shop.
Yeah, you're grinding.
The crew is back to the shop. It's definitely a weird experience, but we're working, and I'm super grateful for those guys working hard and just trying to keep things moving along and just, you know, readjusting. I hope that it's nothing that we need to get used to for a long time.
Sure.
I know for the time being, but it's working. It's working okay, you know.
Well, that's the thing. It's like everything that everybody is going through in whatever walk of life and job they have. I mean, everything is a change with all of this, you know, just everything.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So it takes a while, and then before you know it, you feel, you know, like a little normal again. I mean, just like, you know, the couple times we've over the last couple weeks have had a chance to go to Nebco and grab a couple beers like we used to do, like every other Friday. It was like months and months and months. Every other Friday we would go hang out, and then all of that went to shit, obviously. And then you know, here we are 4 months later, and we're hanging out, and it's not like, you know, we don't realize what's going on. We're still taking the precautions and doing everything, but it's nice to just be able to get out and see everybody and say hello to folks, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It's insane, but
yeah.
Speaking of the crew, Mark Fernicola, he is the crew.
He is the crew.
We're gonna chat. It's cool because it's like, you know, Mark and I are next to each other, and it's like we don't really have a chance to always chat. You know, where he's busy cutting. Thankfully, I'm doing my thing. The day goes by. We're not doing the kind of hang around stuff that we used to necessarily, just for social distancing crap. But so I was so like super psyched to be able to have a chance to just bullshit with him tonight. So.
Oh, absolutely, man.
I'm going to bring him in with a little video segue. Talk about someone who is doing it damn good. Just absolute positive dude, and especially to work with me in the shop next to me and to deal with my insanity. You got to be a really great guy, and that's Mark. So here's a little clip of us and Mark dealing with Jim, and then we'll bring him in. So. Mark.
Mark.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, buddy?
That was one of our many nights, Mark, when like our usuals, like I think we were headed to what closed down in North Haven. What was that?
Oh, are you there?
The restaurant?
Yeah, it was oh shit, what's his name? Other offshoot from Three Sheets.
Yeah, Swift Half. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one of our usual crazy nights.
Yeah,
that was
a fun night.
Mark, I was going through stuff and I was
Mm-hmm.
like looking through photos and videos and shit, and I realized I had so much shit, which is great because I was like, we have like some pretty good fucking times, you know.
That's got to be one of the best parts of going back and looking through all that stuff. Is you think, man, all these good times we had.
Yeah, it's hilarious, dude.
It's
Absolutely.
Awesome. Hey, Mary. Hey, Lori.
So everybody's
what's going on, Nicole?
Mark's got his finger on the screen. I don't know what he's doing. Lori's in there.
So I can see comments and stuff.
What's that?
No, I was trying to see if I could like go through the comments on my phone. So
I'll bring up the pointed ones for you so you can see it. I think you can see them on the screen.
Yeah, now I could. Yeah,
anyway.
Expo.
So it's like I have so much I want to talk about, so I think we should get into it.
Yeah, let's go.
First of all, so Mark, you and I met because of Jeremy at the shop. You were getting tattooed by Jeremy. Like, how old were you when you first started getting tattooed by Jeremy?
I was 19, so that was
no kidding.
That was 15, 16 years ago already, something like that. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
Oh,
that was a long time ago.
Thanks for pointing that out there, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I just got this sweet cut from Mark tonight. And actually, Roy went to see Mark too. He was in.
Look at Roy.
Oh yeah.
Wow, look at you guys, man.
Double trouble.
I'm a little jealous now. I think.
Double trouble.
Oh man.
So that was a pretty long time ago, man.
Yeah, seriously.
When you came to see Jeremy at that point, had you started school yet, dude? I forget.
So no, I think I got a couple tattoos. I mean, when you guys were upstairs, probably like 6 months before I started cutting hair.
Really?
I didn't. Yeah. Well, because I followed him from his old shop to Lucky Soul. That was 2011.
Okay.
And then when I started cutting hair, it was like I was 28. So that was like I was already like almost 8 years ago.
Oh wow.
So so I think I was like probably 6 months out from actually hair school. I think when Jim and I met.
Okay.
And then just kind of downhill from there.
So did you ever go to the old shop in Ansonia or no?
No. I had always heard about Lucky Soul, but like I never got to go to that one. And then actually even I think when Jeremy went to the shop upstairs, I think you guys only been there for like 6 months or so or something like that. Because
I think Jeremy came on for like about I want to say about a year after we had been there, something like that. It wasn't long.
Because I know it was well because like even the first few times I came, I think it was only you and Tracy. So
right, yeah,
and Jeremy obviously.
Yeah, so, it was actually it could have been 6 months now that I think about it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was still pretty fresh. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's so wild. It really is.
I know. Yeah.
So you obviously you got the name deemed the Illustrated Barber.
Mm-hmm.
at some point. Were you were using that before Fernie's Barbershop though, right? At some point, right?
Yeah. Actually, I think you guys gave me that name.
Is that what?
If I'm not mistaken. I think I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, well, because I mean, again, just I mean, at the time, like barbering, like really wasn't like cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like, I think it was like you who was just like, oh, dude, you should call yourself like the Illustrated Barber, like kind of fanfare it up a little bit or something. So, and that was my first business card. It said, Mark Fernicola, traditional barber, the Illustrated Barber, whatever.
Wow.
So
you have I mean, barbering way back, and I want to maybe just remind me. I want to touch on it later because it was way back. I'm thinking early 18th century or something like that. It definitely had different barbers were doing some different shit. But remind me about that. I want you to talk about it because I think we talked about it before. But the Illustrated Barber, you have a tattoo history aside from collecting tattoos. Is this correct?
Slightly, yeah. I did a few.
But this is.
I did a few.
I mean,
you did a few.
But this is something that this was maybe I don't know if you could tell me about it, like a transitional time to whatever, find out what it is, just like any of us have done. I talked about being I was an architectural draftsman, and I worked in the field too, and I just wasn't for me for whatever reason. You find something that your heart is 100% into, and that's what you did. But I don't know if you are cool. You wanna talk about the pre barber?
No, absolutely. Yeah. No, absolutely. What happened was, my ex had actually, got me tattoo equipment and stuff, and I like practiced on just like a couple friends, like it was nothing like usually too crazy or whatever. And it was always the thing, like everybody's like, oh, like Mark can draw me this tree or something like that. And it was it was kind of one of those things where it was always like people were always like oh, you're good at this, you should do this. And it was always kind of like you get nudged like into kind of something.
But you have that you got the artistic eye, which you obviously have brought into barbering. But I mean, you're still I know you're crazy busy, but you have taking time to do some other artwork and stuff like that. So you're still doing it once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, actually, God, I mean, I think the last art thing I did was like the helmet show last year.
Right.
Yeah, Christy's got one. Every probably like maybe like 8 years or so, another one kind of happens.
So Mark, were you considered like, were you apprenticing at all like that? Like, were you like really looking to get into tattooing?
I mean, there was a time like I was kind of looking, like I did get into a shop. It was literally around for like a year, and I mean, I wasn't even, and I wasn't like like, oh, I'm a tattoo artist. I was just a guy that kind of just did a couple tattoos, and like that was kind of it,
Gotcha.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't anything like too crazy or anything like that. It was just like I was looking for something to use like my art degree towards. I mean, and like that kind of seemed like a viable thing at the time. I just, it was like a crazy, just kind of culmination of stuff. I mean, like, me and my ex had broken up. Like, I kind of fell out of love with like the shop I was working at, just because those guys were also kind of dummies and stuff too, But, like,
gotta have the vibe.
What was that?
We'll edit that part.
Can I say that? Yeah, no, but it was one of those things, like everything just kind of like wasn't working to a point, and then all of a sudden,
it, Rads,
yeah, right back at you, dude. It's just it was just kind of one of those things, like everything like up till that point just wasn't working, and it wasn't like worth kind of doing at that point, and then I just I hit a crossroads with like everything, personal life, professional life, like whatever. I just didn't know what to do, and then I was actually, ironically, I was watching a video about Mark Mahoney, who was my favorite tattoo artist,
Yeah.
And then there was a suggested video afterwards, and it was like it was an old school barber, and he was like doing like the old straight razor shave tutorial, and I was just like,
awesome.
I mean, I think I want to be a barber, like, and that was like my own, like wanting to do something for once,
Well, and you also have some history in the family. I read, I think, a little bit about you, right?
Yeah, we got a lot of history with barber.
Yeah, so, I mean, not to jump around or anything, but I think that was also something interesting that in talking to Jimmy a little bit, and obviously doing some reading about you, some of the background stuff on the Lucky Soul site. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, wow, look at this guy. It's in the blood.
It's in the blood. Sure. It's in the blood. It's in the ink. So I think exactly. I don't know if people realize, Mark, but you do come out of tattoo retirement occasionally.
Ooh.
Yeah, right? Probably like after like 6 beers, I'm like, yeah, do this.
Let's go.
So I want to.
Well, that's it. Every time Uriah wears shorts, I'm like, oh my god, that thing is still there.
And this might not be beer related, but I think the following maybe is whiskey related, but we'll check it out.
Stop making me laugh.
Wow.
You remember what tattoo that was, dude?
Was that the turkey leg on Thanksgiving night?
Yeah. So for you guys hanging out and watching, Mark and I, we actually have our best ideas by the fire. Usually with a little Sailor Jerry or a couple beers or something. That was it actually Thanksgiving Day, dude, or the day after? I forget. I think it was actually Thanksgiving night.
It was Thanksgiving night. I think we kind of thought at the idea of like 1:30 in the morning, and then, and then kind of just progressed and stuff. Yeah. Well, because we were like,
what happens.
Yeah, well, because I mean, again, we were like, what's better than Thanksgiving dinner is leftovers the day after. So we're like, oh, let's do like turkey legs on each other, So
that's so great.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. No. There's. I'm looking at my legs now. Yeah. We definitely got a couple funny ones.
Turkey leg.
Yeah, that was so I might actually have the I might have the end result of that tattoo, which is pretty awesome actually. I mean, I love.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's a Thanksgiving turkey leg perfectly carved into my leg by Mark the Barber.
I mean, that is stellar. and we're talking bad, right? We're talking like what 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. After copious drinks. So
that is phenomenal work. Those lines are fantastic.
Well, thank you. I know, right? I work better after a few drinks than sober, I guess. Apparently.
I mean, my hair looks pretty good, actually. So
yeah, it does.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, after Gary's birthday shot. Yeah.
So,
oh my god.
So, well, so when did Barber in school happen, dude? Because I do remember it. I think you had already started, and at that point, I actually had some here. We were kind of hanging out, spending some time. I said, "Oh shit!" And like, I was like, "Wow, I could get a discounted haircut at the
yeah.
At the school."
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was how long ago was that? Or what year did you go into?
God. Okay, so I went into barber school. I toured in July. I started in October of 2012. And then
shit.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, which is even at that blows my mind that like I'm already like closer to a decade, into doing it. Yeah. Well, because like I still feel like yesterday I was just like I just got out or just started, so
yeah, insane.
Yeah. But so that was 2012. I think I actually started taking people October, so like that spring, like you move up from like freshman to sophomore, technically, and then once you're a sophomore, like you're on the floor, you could start taking customers, stuff like that. So yeah. So Jim, I think that was the first time I ever cut your hair. Was it was like I was a sophomore. So how long was barber school? So barber. Well, now I think there's a barber program still, which is it goes by hours, so it's 1,000 hours. They didn't, when I started, they didn't have like a barber program per se. So what happened was I got like my cosmetology license, and that's 1,500 hours. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, if you go like straight through like as like a full that, just because I was a part-time student, I mean, it took me like a year and a half, like almost like 2 years, because it's a lot more reduced hours and stuff too. Like when you're a day program, which is full-time, like you're going for like the full like 8-9 hours a day. When you're part-time, it's only 4 hours a night. You know what I mean? Because I was like still working during the day, then I'll go to school at night. And then I was, also at my uncle's barbershop, just like, a couple days a week too. So it was like, just, that was crazy. That was a lot of hustling for sure, Yeah. But, no, I mean, but I loved it though. Like, Tuesday was cool. Like my uncle would go into the shop at like, 6 o'clock in the morning. He got out by 1. I'd like, every once in a while, like go and, go hang out for a couple hours before, go to school at like 8, and then, just, kind of learn, do like what I learned in the barbershop, like in school, and kind of, teach those guys sometimes like a couple tricks and stuff.
You're basically doing a combination of you're doing your schooling, picking up stuff at at your uncle's place and utilizing that, right?
Yep.
Somebody was asking what was the craziest experience, I guess, to date that you had as a barber.
Craziest experience. Geez. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's every day there's always like one thing that you're just kind of just like, holy shit, But
I mean, cutting hair inside of the tattoo shop now, there's probably increases the crazy experiences.
No, for sure.
More than likely it may have something to do with one of your coworkers. So.
Yeah, actually, no. You know what? I think the craziest thing I had to deal with so far was like one of the last place I worked at in North Branford. There was this guy who he's basically like the town drunk, and he like always show up like, in the barbershop, like I mean wasted,
right?
Yeah, and so like there's this little kid who like he's in the chair, like I'm cutting his hair. I'm the only one who was there at the time, so it's me, this kid in the chair, his mom, and then another couple people, and then this guy shows up, and he's like, just I mean belligerent, like just wasted, and the poor kid is getting a mohawk of all things, and the guy's like, oh, mohawks are so dumb. Blah, blah. I'm like, dude, like, like F you, man. Like mohawks are awesome. What are you talking about? So like, exchanging back and forth. I ended up throwing the guy out. Like I'm almost physically like, taking him and throwing him out the door. So that was kind of crazy. but the great thing was crazy. Yeah, but the best part was he shows up the next day and doesn't remember a thing. so he ended up getting his haircut that day,
Oh my God. Look at Uriah. It's sneak attack.
Yeah, he's incognito, man. He's
sneak attack.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't believe it.
No, I see it. It's backwards.
It's backwards.
Yeah. I actually like Norb. I think I'm going to call him Norb from now on.
Norb. Like it.
How do Norb?
So, Mark, when you were in school, like, so when does you start like practicing with the straight edge on like a real person's neck or head, or like what do you start with? Like how do you get to the point where you're ready to even take the first step on like real human head?
Cadavers.
So, yeah, right. Roy.
That makes sense to me. Roy, Roy will step right up.
No, so I always thought like straight razors were cool and this and that, and I had actually gotten one probably about a year or two before I actually started barber school because I wanted to learn how to shave myself with it.
The one that was the one that you threatened the drunk with. You're like, get out of my fucking shop.
Yeah, right. It almost came to that. Yeah. So well, I mean, but that was the thing though. So again, like I can start calling him
Hair.
So like in hair school, like we I actually kind of like sort of taught a class about using the straight razor like when we were in there, which was kind of cool. Like they we like blew up balloons, we put shaving cream on it, and it's like, all right, so you're gonna try to shave the balloon without popping it, because if you pop it, it's obviously gonna get everywhere. So so that was pretty cool actually, because it teaches you because with any kind of shave, it's all the angle and everything,
Sure.
That's what she said.
Roy had skin before Mark got to him. Look at Grant.
We
wow.
did, yeah. Well, that's it. They used to call me Cutthroat Mark, so
sorry.
That's right.
Wow.
But no, but when I was down at my uncle's shop, that was the thing. I mean, that was like a full on apprenticeship. I was like a barber. He was like, I'm going to show you, him and my cousins, Dino and Claudio, like between the three of them, everybody's like, I'm going to show you how to do every single haircut, with the straight razor, with the scissor, with the clipper, how to shave, all that stuff. And that was the thing. So like, my uncle, like he would kind of pick guys who were already sort of clean shaven and just be like, all right, we're going to, try using the straight razor on this and that. So that was kind of funny. So after a couple, like, you kind of get the movements down or whatever, this and that, like, you start, kind of building your confidence and stuff. Right.
Yeah.
So, like then my friends kind of start coming in. I'm just like, hey, let me give you a shave, this and that. Right?
Mark, I think when you say, hey, my cousin's Dino Claudio, it's either they either trust you 100% or they're completely scared with a straight razor. Hey, my cousin.
Well, no, I didn't. No, like, I never got to shave them. Yeah,
you're like, say hello to my little friend.
Yeah. Right.
Oh man.
Oh god. Yeah. But no, but like so I did a couple of guys, but then what happened was like my uncle's like, yeah, so how do you feel? I was like, feel pretty good. Like I didn't cut anybody, whatever this and that.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay,
sure,
good.
No one bled out.
Blade in. Right, yeah. Well, because there was no blade. So then after that, he's like, all right, we're gonna try it with the actual straight razor.
Yeah.
So he,
that's what I used to do. Two people with no ink.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try it with the ink now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Mark,
but I mean,
I want to talk about our connection and the transition from the obviously the couple shops that you were working in, and then ultimately coming into the tattoo shop. So you were still getting tattooed by Jeremy. I was getting cuts pretty frequently from you, and then we started doing we were doing a couple of events at Lucky Soul Tattoo. And then we were having you come in and do the holiday cuts, which was I went over great, and that was kind of like the first feeling of like the cohesiveness and the jive of like a barber inside of a tattoo shop, which was a very traditional thing way back in the 40s and 50s, and that was we did quite a few events, I think, with you, right, if I recall.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool too because it started like when I was in school, so like haircuts only kind of got better as the years went on.
Here you go, man. Jump right in.
Well, you got to start somewhere,
That's it, man.
But it was those were great. I mean, because like I think everybody, kind of was kind of like getting that feeling of like something was kind of happening there,
That's awesome.
What's my favorite cut to do? Yeah, so my favorite cuts to do are the old kind of classic cuts, like the side parts, the palms, stuff like that. but it's more with the scissor, you know, like that. That's the thing. Like obviously I love, like using clippers and doing the fades, like those are always fun and stuff. But no, my favorite haircut honestly is just like a really nice, just almost, not like business cut, but like, just like a nice, like everyday haircut,
Gotcha.
As a barber, I mean, that's your bread and butter right there, like, I mean, the last couple of years, every other haircut's like, skin fade, but like, but yeah, like my personal favorite ones are like, almost kind of like the businessman haircut, where it's like either just, nice taper on the back, just real, nice and tidy looking.
Yep.
Yeah, just stuff like that. I mean, like, the crazier cuts, those are always super fun too. I mean, mohawks are absolutely one of my favorite haircuts to do,
Nice.
You're welcome.
I never, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. What's pretty crazy, I think now, especially, I mean, last year it picked up a little bit. This year, especially because of COVID, the mullet is back with a vengeance, and it's like, this is awesome.
The mullet.
So
the mullet.
Oh
the
my
mullet.
God.
Oh my God, Corey. Yeah, like
Corey wants
this guy.
I mean,
yeah,
it's just gone, man. I can't do it anymore.
Dude, you should have saved that hair from the other day, dude. Crazy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Back to Corey's neck.
Yeah. Well, we live, we learn. But yeah, all this haircut chat makes me jealous, though. It's like,
but you know what though? I mean, that's kind of like the thing too. Like, like even as like the last couple of years. I mean, like Jason Statham, The Rock. I forgot who else, but like, like the shaved head, like beard look, like, dude, that's so like cool, So it's like, and a lot of guys are just doing that,
Yeah. No, Well, Jimmy and Tracy, they're the ones who, they give me the push to grow the facial hair.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, and it looks killer, man.
Thanks. Well, you've helped me get these lines going, man. You helped me get the nice tight lines on there. It's hard, especially if you've never done it before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out, like, navigating all these new waters is like, what's going on? I got facial hair. Oh!
Yeah. Well,
thank you, Mary.
And that's the thing. I mean, a lot of guys, like a lot of guys just kind of like, we're like, like I never grew a beard. Like, what do I do? And it's like, I don't know, just kind of let it do its thing, and we'll just kind of shape it from there.
I gotta grow a beard. What do I do?
Yeah, Mike's right though. Mike, you had one too, brother. You gotta look at. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find some pictures of that. And
I mean, we're definitely like skilled professional mullet wearing people. We grew up in the '80s, so we had the shit down pat.
No, there's no doubt.
We didn't even have to go to a barber market. It morphed by itself.
It's very true.
As the music came, nice. we just woke up and it was like, I don't know what happened, man. It's like,
that's awesome. Yeah. So I had I mean, it wasn't a mullet, but like I definitely had kind of like the little like rat tail, like early 90s, that was pretty cool.
Rat tail.
Rat tail. Yeah. Rat tail was sick.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. My
my
favorite soccer player, like growing up, he was actually called the Divine Ponytail because he had like, real tight cut, a little bit up top, but he had like this crazy ponytail in the back. And I was like, yo, I want that. So like kind of became like the rat tail. So so that's pretty cool.
Ponytail, man.
Yeah. That'll actually, I mean, that's probably gonna be the next thing to come back. I mean, everybody's gonna like get rid of the mullet and then just like the rat tail is gonna be back,
You think?
So
I guess,
dude, it makes it's that's the thing about the rat tail. It kind of just like sneaks up on you like a rat, and it's just like there, and then it's gone. Yeah.
I mean, a rat tail essentially is a we could call it the rodent mullet. I think
Fair. That's fair.
It's a
fair. Absolutely fair.
Completely fair. Oh yeah.
We'll see.
So Mark, obviously the history of barbering in the family your uncle, your cousin.
Yeah.
You're going into this stuff. When you were getting going, either at the time that you spent at was it your uncle's place? I don't want to say your uncle's, if it was your cousin's place. It was your uncle's place, right?
Yeah, at the time that I started hair school, like my uncle was kind of getting a little bit more serious about retiring, because I mean at that point he was.
I do remember that, actually.
Yeah, at that point I think he was like 65, and he's like 73 now, I want to say. So, yeah, so he was just kind of thinking about going into, which was actually funny too, because like I went down there. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I think I want to be a barber. And he goes, oh, now you want to do it?
You spent the time. Yeah, you spent the time there. I think I actually got 2 cuts at that barbershop in North Haven.
Yeah. Yep.
So, so did you get along the way, either in school or after you, or in school during the time that you were at your uncle's, or after you left there, advice from the elders that you personally utilize now when you're barbering, whether it was the way to actually do stuff, or if it was a business sense dealing with people, like was it especially something that sticks out really strong with you?
Yeah, my probably, well, I mean the best advice I ever got was quite frankly, just don't be an asshole. Like that. I mean, that was.
There's a lot to be said about not being an asshole.
There is.
Some sound advice from some smart people.
Yeah, right. No, but he said, though, he was like, listen, like here's the thing about haircuts, like it's like 80% like your personality, and then it's like 10% like the actual haircut, or like 20% the actual haircut, like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's, I mean, you don't have to be the best. You don't have to, be doing these like, Instagram, like all flawless, haircut, whatever. Sure. I mean, yeah, people, they're drawn to your personality, and and that's the thing that he always like kind of, that he always kind of impressed on me was, just, I mean, take care of your people.
That's dude, that's huge, Mark, because you're basically talking about doing what you do for people. It's not doing a cut and it's not doing a cut and thinking that, man, I can't wait to show this cut off. It's I know watching you're doing a cut for someone, and you're saying, I want this person to leave with the best possible haircut they can have, feeling good about themselves. You're not taking it back to yourself. So that's huge, dude. I think that's huge, and that's one thing about the crush, kill, destroy sentiment. Doing what you do and doing it damn good, and that's a big thing, and that's like super important, and that's getting lost. That kind of stuff is getting lost today. So.
Absolutely.
With all the stuff that we put out there into the world, it's like we got to kind of take it back and make sure that we're doing that we're putting our best foot forward and doing what we do and doing it damn good.
And there's a lot of trust that goes into someone cutting their your hair, you know what I mean, and it's like you put a lot of you into that, and then. That's what, like you said, that's what people remember. They'll have a great outcome, obviously, with a haircut. But then they're sitting there, having had you worked on my beard. I mean, the way you talk, engage, you kind of explain what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like it just makes for the experience to be just that much more engaging and human. It's not like you feel like you're gonna shit right out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's the thing. I've like not at. Like my uncle's shop, but like at other shops, like where I've gotten haircuts at. I've and we've all been there. We've all had those haircuts where you just kind of sit there and you're just kind of like, okay, like is this guy going to talk to me? Is he not? What's kind of the deal?
When you're working I'm sorry. When you're working in personal service, it's not just the skill or the service that you deliver. It's the whole package, and and that's one thing I've always respected about you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, I mean, well, that's it too. I mean, because like, like you guys say like all the time, like, oh, take more photos. But like, for every like photo that like, or like, that like I take and like I post like on Instagram and stuff like that too. It's like there's also like 10 that walked out of there that like, I mean, they might look just as good, but it's like, it's not about like the post. You know what I mean? Because like that's like the thing that kind of bothers me the most about like social media. I mean, it's great for like, connecting with people, friends, family you haven't seen, I mean, I mean, both of you guys know, like, collecting people to, have like as a clientele or like, like a base or something like that. But like, I don't cut hair for Instagram, or like for Facebook. Like I'm not about that. It's about like, it's about taking care of your people. Cause like, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like point blank, like they don't give a shit if it's on there. You know what I mean? They're just like, yeah, post, I don't care. Right. But it's like, it's about like that. Take my photos.
It's not going to let you get off that easy.
Damn it. But yeah, no, it's like, but it's about like the experience, you know what I mean? Cause that's the thing. It's like, you can't, like you could capture a haircut, with, or, as best you can with like a photo, this and that, but it's not the feeling. It's not the experience. It's not like like that feeling of just like getting up out of the chair and just being like, oh man, like, I feel good, like you can't capture it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, hot towel is a big part of it. Yeah, absolutely. And that was Paul made a comment actually before. He said he used to go to my uncle, now that it comes to me. And to me that's a big thing. Like if you grew up in North if you grew up in North Haven, chances are you went to my uncle's barbershop like growing up. And a lot of like my friends, we all did, like, like our dads would bring us down to my uncle's shop, like we hang out down there after school, whatever, this and that. So now as an adult, to be cutting my friends the way that, like my uncle and my cousins did, and to have those guys, like Paul say, you do the exact same thing that those guys do, like, personality wise, like, the Fernie shuffle, like around the chair, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, that makes me feel good. Like I'm carrying on a tradition, like long before social media, long after social media, to where it's like guys are just coming and like, it's your time to relax. It's your time to like feel good about yourself, get pampered, like all that stuff. And like,
I gotta tell you, this cut on Paul, dude.
Yeah.
This is a great cut. This was a transformative cut. I think I posted the cut and I was like, damn, look at this guy. He's like, that's an awesome cut, dude.
That's really nice. Again,
Uriah had a good question, dude. And I think this is something actually I wanted to ask you anyways, especially, well, this is a kind of a loaded question because you're seeing changes in the evolution of barbershops in the States, but obviously this year we're seeing major changes. But maybe, I don't know if you've seen anything. Maybe, I mean, you might have touched on it already with the social media has just changed everything, but maybe the way it's painted, but maybe, I don't know, maybe like technically or equipment or anything like that. Like,
so, well, it's kind of funny because, obviously, coronavirus happened. And kind of consequently because of that, what a lot of like the guys that like I follow and look up to have been posting is there's like this photo of it's a few barbers. I don't know where it is, but like they're all outside in an outside courtyard.
Yep.
And it's during the 1918 flu.
Oh,
and they have masks on, both barbers and clients.
Yeah.
And everybody's everybody else outside getting a haircut, whatever, this and that.
It's not the photo by any chance, is it?
Two dapper gents. Look at those guys.
You can't beat that suit. There's no way. There's no way you can beat that suit.
So great.
I think it's from. I think this is from the 1800s. I just wanted to pull that in there. I was
double check. Yeah, just double check.
Give or take a few years.
Yeah, that's. But like that. But like that's the thing. I mean, like 100 years ago, we're still doing the same thing. And like 100 years before that, well, I mean, it was, you know, a little bit different. Like people may or may not know. I mean, up until I think it was like the 1800s, like there were barber surgeons. So like you'd go get your haircut. If they were dentists. They were, they were. Well, that's it. If you see, I really want to get one too. It's like the old service sign. It'll be like, you know, haircut, shave, get a hot bath, you get a tooth pulled, bloodletting. You know, little known. Bloodletting was huge. That was a huge thing with barbers.
Basically, which is good. Actually, Mark, I want you to tell these guys too, because this is exactly what I was talking about earlier with that, what you're talking about, which I know that the barbers were doing all this crazy shit. Like, oh, this guy's needs something fucking stitched up, I'm going to do it. But,
right.
The barber pole.
So
the colors of the barber
pole. So,
you want to explain that?
Yes. Oh, what was it? But the barber pole?
The colors of the barber pole in relation to them doing this stuff that they were doing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So everybody like sees, you know, like the red, white, and blue, and they kind of automatically associate it with you know like national, like, you know, pride, like, you know, American pride, whatever, this and that. But actually that wasn't the case. What happened was you know, way back, the barber pole literally was a pole that you'd hold on to, and what happened was, like, so that's the white. When you, it's kind of gross, but like when you got bloodletting, the red and the blue represent, you know, blood in the veins. So like you'd hold on to the actual physical pole, blood would run down your arm or the pole itself, and then like at any like lit barbing pole, any you know, lit barber pole, there's always a bowl at the bottom. And what that represented was the blood that would collect down from like running down that thing. So it was like, and so like the white, like, was like the clean rags that, like, you know, like you used to like wrap up. Like the blue, you know, like I said, kind of like represented the veins. So so there's that. And then every once in a while you'll see just like a red and white pole, and that's actually for dentists, because like I said, barbers used to pull teeth, stuff like that.
That's great.
I think up until the Civil War, actually, I might be wrong about that, but we were the guys who were running out on the field, like, you know, giving you a bottle of Jack Daniels, you know, amputating limbs, stuff like that.
Oh my God.
That's how I want to be treated.
Barber surgeon. Yeah. Barber surgeon was a real thing.
I think, and then from what I understand, it was the like when things got more complicated with these surgeries, they realized that there were people actually taking time to investigate and developing surgery as it stands. So they got away from that stuff. But and then it really then it really kind of more focused on, like, you know, kind of like the wig making, more like I think that was more kind of like like 1800s, give or take. And then after that, like, it was more about like actual haircuts. You know, a huge part of a barber's income pre-World War I was the shaves. You know, guys would come in every other week or every other day, you know, to go get a shave, because they didn't have razors. So it's like, all right, well, you know, that's, you know, 85% of a barber's income. World War I, Gillette, the guy came out with the disposable safety razor, and, you know, send that out to the troops, you know, overseas in Europe. And then that kind of took away from, you know, the actual barbershops who were, you know, doing shaves and this and that, you know. So, which, you know, there's a crazy lot of history behind the trade. You know, it's really cool.
Tracy's got an interesting idea.
Can we get shot there? Yeah, absolutely.
maybe for the parties, that could be a cool thing to do.
Absolutely.
I think and Mark, the word barber, I think it comes from something. I think that, I'm not sure what language, but I think it means beard, from what I understand.
I think it's like ancient Greco. Which it was like barbieri. Which
Greek. You know, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So with that, with that in mind, I'm thinking. I know with COVID and everything,
yeah,
you have some limitations with what's going on in the shop. So if you want to like what they put in place for you.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, well, I mean, you know, as far as like the state of Connecticut goes, like what they said was, you know, like masks are mandatory. You can't do, you know, face shaves. You can't do the beard. It's, you know, basically strictly haircuts at this point.
So it's based on the wearing a mask, is what you're saying.
Yeah, which,
you know, we're supposed to be covered up and safe. So
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's also the thing though too, because like that's where like this kind of gets interesting. I mean, I want to like, you know, take up too much time with this, but there's no like uniformity like in the whole country about like these state guidelines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there, like some states, like the clients don't have to wear masks, but the barbers do. Other states, the barbers have to wear masks, but the clients don't. Other states, like nobody has to wear a mask.
Yeah. I don't think I realized it was that different from state to state, actually, dude.
It really is. I mean, actually, my buddy Julian, who owns 2 shops in Canada, Barking Iron Barbershop, which is awesome. They're probably they're probably the closest to like they're probably the closest to like Connecticut standard, I guess, of like, you know, like what we got to do and stuff, which is kind of interesting, you know. But like, yeah, I mean, as far as Connecticut goes, like I think because like, you know, phase 3 got pushed or like paused, you know, like I think like beard trims were kind of next in you know, like what you can do as far as services go.
Thanks, Corey.
But yeah, so yeah, just I don't know, it's pretty, you know, pretty interesting. But kind of going back to what Uriah asked before about like the evolution, you know, of like barbershops and stuff though. I mean, this is going to affect it for sure. If guys can't get their beard trimmed or whatever, then it's like, okay, well now you're just doing haircuts. So now you're almost, I don't want to say kind of limited, but it's definitely going to, you know, kind of, I think, circle back to a time where guys were mostly clean shaven because that was what was supposed to happen. It was mostly just haircuts at that point. Yeah. But even as far as equipment goes, I mean, the stuff that I got now is all cordless, which is pretty cool. But like, yeah, straight razors are basically the same as they were like when they came out, like the 16 or 1700s. I mean, scissors change a little bit. Like now they're more like ergonomic. You have like, you know, have like swivel, like
swivels.
Yeah, like swivel scissors. You know, it's like
my next band name, by the way.
Swivel scissors, nice.
Yeah.
Mark is fantastic at the trimming.
Yeah, Grant had one of the craziest, longest beards that I've ever seen, and we shaved it off a few months ago, and that definitely that hurt both of us for sure. You know,
absolutely epic beard.
It really was. Yeah,
I like really Grant. I like Grant just because he's a solid, good dude.
Absolutely.
But I'm not gonna lie. I miss the beard.
Yeah,
I like him either way. I don't care.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's also the thing too. I mean, like this thing, like literally, you know, like the virus has literally changed men's fashion. I mean, so many guys come in now without a beard, and it's like because of the mask, you know. So I don't recognize a lot of my guys because they don't have the beard anymore. So I'm like, oh shit, who's this?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's pretty wild, you know. Yeah, and that's like even like what I've said to you know, to like Ross, who's my barber, is like, you know, dude, who'd have thunk like a pandemic is the thing that actually killed off the skin fade. You know what I mean? Like it's like, you know, just it wasn't going anywhere. Then all of a sudden now everybody's got, you know, like the longer grown out hair, you know. So yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Bring it back, Grant. Bring it back.
Yeah.
What hairstyles will survive the pandemic? Will the mullet make it? Who knows?
Will the mullet make it?
I don't know.
So Mark, you have taken time with people in the shop to. Obviously, we're a service industry, both of us, tattoos and barbering, and you go above and beyond to do what you can to have someone leave happily, which is what you're talking about before. It's not necessarily about you know, doing something for a showcase on social media.
Yep.
And I really appreciate the stuff. This is so hilarious to me. We've been in situations where we lost power, and I got this great picture right here. This is Mark. This is Mark finishing up a haircut when we lost power at the shop. Everyone chipped in, and they were holding their phone so Mark could see what he was doing. This is great.
That's a great picture.
Yeah. So not only was that a haircut, but he literally wanted his head shaved with a straight razor. So, again, talk about really kind of being put in a hard spot. I mean, there's nothing he can do. There's no lights, but I had one strip of hair left to go on his head and the power went out,
That's amazing.
And then you also, at the same time, when one of your regulars, Dave, came down. This was luckily during the day, and Mark had to substitute using probably the clippers and just get by. And you took them out front, which was pretty cool. So this is another great shot. Mark, finishing up.
And that was really crazy too. So big shout out to Dave. He's Dave's amazing. Dave lives like an hour away, but he still comes for haircuts. And there's a lot of guys that do that, to which I'm like, I can't believe that, because between where our shop is and where they live, there's a million places to get your haircut at. Yeah. And yet they still come, and that is so humbling to me. Even today, another guy was driving an hour to get a haircut, and I'm just like, dude, you could get clippers yourself, and he's just got a buzz cut. Why are you driving an hour to get a buzz cut? Yeah. So to me, that's always that's why I do it. You know what I mean?
It's it's definitely a connection that you have between your client and and the people that come and yourself.
Yeah.
Ward's got something to say.
Even Grant. Grant lives what is it, Watertown now or something like that? Yeah. I think the cops are called me something. Yeah.
You could always count on Uriah for a comment like this. We could.
That's hairdo to you and me.
I think if we had Uriah, and I would definitely be prepared, because I would just be like,
nice. Yeah. But going back to Dave's thing. So Dave, he's driving an hour away to get the haircut through a bad thunderstorm. He's ready to. I see him from the desk, getting ready to pull into the shop parking lot, and then boom, blackout.
Out.
So out. The whole town of Woodbridge. So he's I knew he had to go to a wedding that weekend. And he's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, dude, you're not leaving without a haircut. I'm not making you drive all the way back and then, have to come back. So, and again, thankfully with my uncles, my cousins, training about how to do everything with every tool available to you, I was able to cut Dave's hair outside with just scissor and comb, and no electricity. The only, the light that I had was my cell phone, in my apron, and, just do it that way, basically.
Improv.
And that's it. That's half the barber game right there. Is it's all creative problem solving, and that's why I love it, because it's every haircut's different. How do I make this look good? And a lot of people say it's his hair art, is it not? And I'm like, well, if you think about it, it's abstract sculpture. So it
I would agree with that 100%.
Kind of art, in a way.
I think when Mark actually said that, how do I make this look good? He was looking at my face.
I don't got to do anything to make that look good. It's just good on its own. So I don't got to do too much.
Nice.
I have
all my handsome guys. I don't got to do too much.
Speaking of handsome.
Oh.
What do we got here?
At one point, so we're so fortunate to do what we do and really embrace everything: tattooing, barbering, just creativity itself. And Mark and I, we had a little thing going a while back, and we were doing our food thing. It was eat, drink, and be awesome. And things get busy, but it was great, Mark, because we had a little chance to like experiment with the live stuff, and at that point it was completely fun. And then it's like here it is. I find myself personally stuck, or I mean, in this place of kind of isolation because of what's happened.
Yeah.
So I was like, me and Mark were like fumbling with our phones and like, we should do this live thing, and we both enjoy food, and we should cook something, and let's put it out there and engage with our friends. And now it's like we're kind of forced to, in a sense, if we want to stay connected.
Absolutely.
But I have this little clip, another part of what Mark has kind of has to endure with being friends with me, my manic and ridiculousness. So this is a little clip that I really like, actually, and I was actually going through some Eat, Drink, and Be Awesome. Man. We made some seriously awesome food, so take a look at this. But this is pretty funny.
You heard that Eat, Drink, and Be Awesome might be going live tonight, and Mark Fernicola is on that. Oh my god. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh.
That's so great.
Obviously, in that,
oh my god,
you can see in the video I desperately needed Mark's help because I had this long, shaggy hair sticking out of my hat. But that was a good thing. I think, maybe when things get like a little settled or something, we could get back to doing the Eat, Drink, and Be Awesome.
Yeah, I used to love tuning in, man. I used to love popping on and checking you guys out, man. It was so much fun.
Bring it into a new format. Who knows? Maybe we could bring it into the or something like that. It'd be pretty awesome.
Oh, dude. Cool. Oh, that'd be crazy. Well, I mean, again, that's what's kind of nice. It's like it's Saturday night. There's nothing really kind of going on. So, like, I mean, I think a lot of people kind of take refuge in this because it's like, you're like, what else are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Other than just kind of like hang out with friends and just be like, hey, like, let's just, I don't know, mess around with this thing,
Yeah, I mean, Corey and I, we talked about it last week because we had our buddy Jed on, who's a musician, and it's like expectedly on for myself too. Friday night, Saturday night is like it's bar night, it's music night. Who's playing? Let's go see a band.
Right.
I mean, that's happening slowly. Yeah. If we're smart, we may not really engage in that stuff.
Right.
But it's like, but we obviously miss it, so it's like we miss that stuff. So I think the choice to do a Saturday night with the Crush Corner was one of the, like, I talked to Corey about it, and we decided, like, let's do Saturday nights. Fuck it. It's an hour or so long.
Right.
I'm missing playing out live. I'm missing live music, but we have this opportunity to do this stuff, so we should do it,
Yeah, definitely. No, it's one way to engage and start to chat with everybody.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's what's like really kind of cool about, I mean, like at least like the last couple of years, it's like everything kind of has led up until like a point where it's like, like we would, we do Eat, Drink, Be Awesome, like live, like, it kind of segued into us actually opening up the shop and everything. And then, it also kind of, like segued into this with, the clothing line and all that stuff. So it's kind of cool. It's like everything's just kind of been like, almost kind of like a streamline to, like where we're at now,
Yeah.
So, we got gongs.
Gongs. There's gongs.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I had to go and search for something. So I put down the solo thing. Speaking of that, Mark, what are you drinking tonight? You have an appreciation for the old school styles. For a lot of things old school, and you usually have a pretty classy drink. So what are you drinking tonight, dude?
I do.
What do you got going on there?
Where we go in a very classy cup that you and Tracy got for me, and thank you.
I love that. Oh, nice. What are you drinking?
So I don't actually know what this is. I just kind of threw a bunch of stuff together that like sounded like it'll probably taste okay.
Wow.
It's Jim Beam apple,
Oof.
Limoncello.
Yowza.
Mango orange juice and blueberries. So
wow.
I guess sort of an old fashioned, I guess, maybe.
All right.
Wow.
Right on.
All right, man.
I kind of wung it.
Hey, winging it sometimes
it tastes good. I don't know. It's cold.
It's not a bad thing.
That's it. I mean, that's what Corey and I do every time we come on this thing on Saturday nights. We just wing it.
Kind of
Winging
going back to, yeah. So kind of going back to like what we were talking about before. Everything that I did, like, you know, kind of going, you know, into like sort of tattooing, into like, you know, other careers, whatever, this and that. Right. Everything was always like planned, you know, like that I did, you know, like, and I mean, you know, both you guys know me, like I'm a planner. I love, you know, kind of organization, stuff like that. And it was kind of funny because like everything that I planned on never worked, and I didn't allow for like adjustments either and stuff like that.
Sure.
And then kind of once I hit like that crossroads, you know, professionally, personally, whatever, and I really just kind of started shooting from the hip, everything just kind of started working that way, because it's like, there's no, I mean, it's good to have like a semblance of a plan, but like, yeah, for me, just kind of like just going, you know, just kind of like, all right, I'm just going to kind of see where the wind takes me. And I got way farther doing that than I did kind of planning anything, you know?
I mean,
so
that's great, Mark. And I think that's one thing, even though you have this idea of, you know, a schedule and you know, and like planning and stuff, which is actually great. But now we've moved into this time that has these uncertainties, and it's like you have to be able to bend a little, which you've obviously shown. Yeah, you know, you just kind of gotta roll with it. We said it the other day. Every fucking person we talk about something going on during this time, and they're saying to us, what do you remember what we said the other day? What they say to us?
There's Joe.
It is what it
Joe
is.
joined. Joe has joined the fray.
Joe is $1. What is it? A day late,
and $1 short. But he's here.
He still doesn't have a.
What's going on? What's going on, Joe? I miss you. Every other week, Joe and or his kids were always in the barber chair.
See,
and you know, I mean, and that is another thing too, I think, which is really cool. Is like, you know, I was talking about it with another haircut today. It's like ever since, you know, being a part of like Lucky Soul, or just like, you know, being a part of the shop, whatever, like almost everyone that like you meet through the shop, through our small community that's, you know, within the thing, like your life just gets that much better, you know. And the Federicos are definitely a big part of that. I mean, you know, and I mean, Chuck and Lori, their family, you know, the Maielis, like, you know, all these, you know, like multi generations of people that, like, you know, come through and like we, you know, have a good time with and joke around and take care of and stuff. And it's like, you know, that's what counts. It's not like, you know, the Instagram likes or like how many followers, or it's, you know, it's real life. It's like that's the stuff like you hold on to, you know? Yeah. And I think that's what's like really cool. I mean, you know, through, you know, like you know, I mean, like the entire history, I think, of, you know, of Lucky Soul, and, you know, like, you know, kind of like my barber end of it, and combining all that into, you know, I mean, really just like such a happy and creative, and you know, just uplifting place. You know, I think people really dig that. You know, I mean, God's honest truth. Most of my clientele don't even have tattoos. They're just coming because they love the place and they need a haircut.
It was
like they love.
I think it's like a vision of something that was tried and true in the 40s and 50s, where you had this combo, which typically was a barber shop with the tattoo guy in the back of the shop. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what a lot. That kind of developed in the Bowery in New York City, and people don't really realize that. So to bring it into fruition into modern day, you know, obviously Lucky Soul had been around for a long time. Typically, with the way things are going with tattooing, there were bigger shops, there were more artists, and so it was almost in a sense it kind of flipped to where it's a tattoo shop. And then obviously our friendship developing over the years and bringing you into the shop was a huge thing. And it's like, it still even though we're modernized and we're, you know, big,
right,
you know, bright, beautiful shop. It was like, it made sense to do that, to hold on to some kind of tradition, and to do it, you know, to do it awesome. And these are the experiences that I have personally that make me that kind of forge the idea of crush, kill, destroy. You know, so
right, absolutely.
Yeah, and knowing that history, and not knowing that history before, I mean, it makes total sense that the fact that you guys are now, you know, doing what you're doing, because it does feel natural when you walk in there and see it, like your chair. You know what I mean? When you see that chair there, it just feels like it belongs there.
And that. And that's what's really cool, because I mean, you know, like people, you know, I mean, even 2 years later that are still like walking in for the first time, it's like, oh wow, like, yeah, this is nice in here, like this is cool, you know. I think, you know, I mean, again, that says a lot. Like, you know, it's just it's a very welcoming place, and I think everybody that's there just kind of, you know, like oozes that, you know what I mean?
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
and people, like, I mean, and people love that. And I think that's the thing. Like, you know, I mean, you know, even with you know, Crush, Kill, Destroy, it's like it taps into something to where you're like, you know, there's a familiarity to it, and there's a, you know, like that kind of just like, I like this, like I live by this. I like that credence and that, you know, like way of thinking of like, whatever I do, I'm gonna put a lot of passion and love really into, and it's gonna show, you know. And I think, you know, with the clothing brand especially, you know, with the connection to your dad, and, you know, and Corey helping out, you know, is like, you know, like also like, you know, a friendship, you know, and a partnership, and whatever. It's like everything is just kind of a culmination of like, you know, just a lot of just passion and love, you know. And that's a beautiful thing, you know. It really is.
Yeah, and it I definitely appreciate you recognizing that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
You have there's so much of that stuff is lost today within. It gets thinned out. It gets spread out with I guess with social media or technology, and so we you know, we're doing what we do on a daily basis. We're out there living our lives, and then it's like these things are just, they're in our face. You know, we're flooded with Facebook posts and Instagram posts, social media and news and stuff, and it's like, I think if we're in this groove of doing what we want to, doing what we do, and putting both feet into what we do, it's like we almost, in a sense, we have to in a loving and compassionate way infiltrate it and say, you know what, I'm gonna fucking utilize the fucking internet, and I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna show people that this is what I do, and these are my friends that are doing what they do, and they fucking do it damn good. And like, you know, screw these people that are in the news all the time. Let's distract ourselves from those motherfuckers and pay attention to the people that got 2 feet on the ground, like my dad, which is what this whole thing is kind of based on, you know. And there's Andy Lopresti,
absolutely,
showing me how to cook a goddamn omelet. You know?
In the kitchen.
Yeah,
he was always making everybody something.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's what Crush, Kill, Destroy is really based on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right, absolutely.
And I think, Chuck, I don't know if you saw, Joe and Joey both had tattoos and haircuts the same day.
That's true. Yeah,
that happened. Yeah, there you go, Joe.
No, same day. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
I think, and I mean, again, I think that's what's really cool, because, like, you know, personally speaking, like, you know, growing up and going with my dad to my uncle's barbershop, like, you know, every other Saturday or whatever was, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, influential. But it was, you know, it was like that bonding time. And I think that's what's like really cool, is like, you know, every aspect of this kind of goes back to like that personal, you know, relationship that we have with somebody or something that just, you know, you have this like idea, and you're just kind of like, you know, like I'm gonna kind of, you know, build upon that to create something that, like, you know, is you know, not only just like a lifelong memory, but like, you know, a recreation of that to pass on to the next generation or whatever, you know.
Sure.
That's a really strong point, Mark. Like these things are getting washed out over time. Where it's you can. It's crazy because you can lose that connection, the real connection, like you're saying, to family and friends that the real solid meaningful stuff is really based on. So there's so much stuff happening at a really fast rate of time, and it's you don't want to lose that stuff, no,
absolutely. Well, I think that's the thing too, it's like the one of the really nice things about the shutdown and quarantine and all that was like, this made us all really just kind of like slow down and take stock in like what's really important,
100%.
Our friends, our families, this and that, and I think that's what we needed. I'm definitely guilty of like not stopping and smelling the roses, a lot most of my life, and then it's like with this, especially you're just kind of, you're sort of forced to, but that's a good thing though, because you're just like, like I'm really kind of like getting rid of like what doesn't count in my life, and I'm just kind of focusing on like what means a lot, good friends, what you do, whatever. Absolutely. So it's like, when everything, kind of starts lifting again and kind of going back to normal, you're just like, I'm really going to focus on that, and I think, I think that was definitely a major plus that came out of this,
It's definitely about not taking things for granted, and then being in this place where we got to reflect and not take things for granted. There's one thing I forgot, Mark, and I just think it's hilarious. During the course of our Eat Drink Be Awesome Instagram page, which I didn't make a thing for that, but if anybody out there wants to check out Eat Drink and Be Awesome, I think that's the easiest way, right? Instagram, just search Eat Drink Be Awesome. I think it'll come up.
I think
it should.
I think so.
But this is so hilarious to me, and I want to read. Actually, if you want to read these, I don't know if you can see them. We can read them together. There was one night that we had a couple of thoughts, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because of what you were talking about. Is taking things for granted. We don't have the opportunity to really do this stuff right now. But these are some quotes that we saved from a couple nights of doing some cooking.
God.
They're so hilarious to me, dude. And I read them and I was cracking up. People might not appreciate it, but we kind of get it, and maybe they will. They're really silly, so I can take a look at these. And so these are things that you and I said during the course of doing our thing on Sunday night. So if anybody doesn't know, Mark and I have an Instagram page which we haven't been really active with because we're just crazy busy with stuff. But we cook and then we drink and we post things, and then we do like a review of what we cook. But Mark, I don't know. Can you read it?
Oh God!
You want me to read them?
Yeah, you can read. So the first one's a quote that we saved from one of the nights. If you want to read the first one.
I do. It's Sunday night. We're off tomorrow. I got a doctor's appointment in the morning. If I show up drunk, big deal, whatever.
So that's a real thing that you said.
That's a real thing.
That was an absolutely real thing that I said. And to follow up, I did go to my doctor's office very hungover that day.
Oh man. Ooh.
That was awesome.
So
that was a fun one.
Yeah, and then the my quote as Mark and I were cooking, I was like, we got to take a picture, we got to post it, which goes kind of against everything we're saying about haircuts and posting on Instagram. But in the realm of food, I think it's completely fine. So we made the stuff.
Yeah, food porn is absolutely a thing. So
it's a thing. It is a thing.
It's a thing.
It's got to look sexy. So it says it looks good. It looks good 100% of the time. It tastes good 75% of the time.
That's still good. It's better than half.
Which isn't bad. So
no, that's good. I take that.
No, it was pretty
the
good.
next one.
Oh no, I think really the only thing that just wasn't like great was what was those what was the Jack Daniels s'mores that we tried to do before before the actual show kind of really started. Like we were just like messing around and like oh, this would probably taste good. And I mean it wasn't terrible, but
they weren't only not that great, but they were kind of dangerous actually.
Flame up in your face.
Yeah. So the next this is one of my personal favorites, this next quote. You can read this one, Mark. I got a kick out of
it. Let's go see what this Italian festival is looking like. Yeah.
So that's two Italian guys in the kitchen trying to make them whatever we were that night. I totally got a kick out of it. Yeah. And then
awesome. I know. Do you remember what dish that was that we were doing for that?
I don't, but it's hilarious regardless.
I know. I'm trying to think. I can't think of what we made for that one.
Well, that's a perfect segue into the next line. So, if you want to read the next one,
I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It just looks delicious.
Which we made plenty of things. You know, Mark and I would plan stuff, and then they would either turn out exactly how we expected or completely opposite.
That's great.
And then basically, this is what I think what Mark and I's intention was from doing this, or just really having a good time. But we thought it would be hilarious, and so the last one is: I'm hopeful that somewhere watching is a famous chef offended enough so that we become an overnight YouTube sensation. And I think that one kind of that kind of summed up what we did with Eat, Drink, and Be Awesome.
That's so great. That is fantastic. It really was fun to watch.
That was kind. Yeah. I mean, well, like that was the thing too. I mean, because like we come up with like a menu, and then we just literally just started winging it from like there on, you know. So like, so we didn't know.
Get in and make it happen, baby.
As much as you guys didn't know what was gonna happen, you know.
Oh yeah, it was.
That was always kind of the best part about it. Was like the like the anticipation, like what was actually gonna come out of the dish, you know.
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
But no, we had some. I mean, I don't know. I think the Justin Timberlake halftime soiree that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, if you want to go
to Super Bowl that year,
check out the Instagram page, Eat, Drink, and Be Awesome on Instagram. So obviously we have these continued connections, dude. We're working together. We got the tattoo thing going. We got the barbershop and sign tattoo. We love good food. We like good drinks. We like good music. And I wanted to ask.
We do.
I think you have an all-time favorite band, dude. I wanted to ask you, like, or musically, maybe stylistically, like if you're gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna listen to my solid. Like, what's it gonna be for you?
What's it gonna be? Okay, I have struggled most of my life with this question because, like, I don't know, like, most of the time. But I think I figured it. I think I figured it out like the last couple of years. I think my all-time favorite band at this point, like, is Social Distortion.
Nice.
Because they're literally everything that I like. Like it's punk rock, it's rock and roll, it's kind of rockabilly, it's a little country. You know, it's not it's kind of bluesy, but it's not one thing. It's a culmination of like everything, you know. And that was the thing. I mean, like I got into punk rock as a very young kid, and
me too.
And that was the thing. So, like, you know, once I found out about Social Distortion, and at that point, like, they kind of embodied all that, which was everything I was already into. I was like, oh wow, shit, that's awesome, you know. So here's kind of like the flip of that though.
Yep.
When people would ask who my favorite band was, Yeah, College Street, exactly. When people would ask, I'd kind of be ashamed to say like Social D, because according to like the punk rock police, like they're not really a punk rock band, you know what I mean? So like I was always kind of like iffy about saying that, because I mean, again, it's like people are like, oh, they're not really punk rock, or like
yeah,
blah, blah, blah. But that was the thing though, because like after a while you're just kind of like, but I don't like, that doesn't matter to me, because I don't care what they think is actual punk rock or not, because
right,
everything that Social Distortion did I loved, and that's why I was just kind of like, well, you know what, like I'm gonna with pride now say like, yeah, they're my favorite band,
Oh, and one of the best shows I've ever seen was them at the Roseland in New York City. And
yeah,
I mean, the energy in their shows, has just always been spot on. Like, I mean, I will say, as they've gotten older, like most bands, things kind of slow down a little bit or whatever.
Yeah.
But in their day, they were top notch. Like the album Live at the Roxy, was it Live at the Roxy? I think that album's just incredible. That's an incredible album.
Yeah, well, and I think that's what's kind of cool too, because like even like Mike Ness himself said, like I'm not 18 anymore. Like I probably shouldn't be singing these songs anymore.
Hey, you know what though? Yeah, I mean, and there's probably truth to that, but you know what? It's who they are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what everybody wants to hear. It's just
absolutely
maybe with a little bit more oomph, but I get it. I get it.
Yeah. And I think that's like it takes a person a lot to kind of admit that, like, I'm not who I was when I was 18. Yeah. I mean, the guy's pushing like 50 something now, so like, obviously like they're not doing like, like the jumping off the speakers, whatever. But that's also kind of the thing too, is that it's like it can't stay that forever either, because then you're just kind of like, well, you're forcing it now,
Yeah, he's 58 by the way.
Wow, damn! But he doesn't look it though. That's the thing too. He still looks pretty good.
Yeah. He rocks out, man. No, I mean, again, it's just all the time catches up. But at the end of the day,
of course, yeah. I thought, but what I thought was probably the most what I thought was pretty badass was when we saw them at College Street. Ross kind of noticed that like they had like that little trailer that was behind the actual bus. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. There was an actual like little mini boxing ring in that trailer, so that Mike Ness could still train while they're on the road with the boxing. I was like, dude, that's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
So
in light of the punk talk, obviously I just want to let people know that there's a new product up on the ckdclothing.com website.
Ooh.
It's a little old school kind of raw edge patch stuff for all the crust punks and whoever wants to sew something on or
very cool
glue it on or whatever the fuck they want to do. But if you go on there, these guys right here are available now, and we can talk about the music in a second.
Yeah. All right, place, enjoy the show. A 7.2 on the Richter scale. The walls are shaking. The floors are rocking. I'm a freak, like a dog in heat. Open wide, say, oh, hot.
So they're patches on a punk budget, and 4 patches, $5. They're printed denim patches with all these designs on them. They're raw edge patches.
So cool.
They're pretty cool. Nice. And I think actually I'm thinking about I'm thinking about doing is grouping these guys together with one of the shirts or something. So this is a possible not that one. This is a possible featured shirt, which we could talk about in the future.
Ooh.
Crush the World, CKD.
Like that.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, they're awesome punk patches.
Very cool.
Nice.
And a great soundtrack for
that's the mighty King Sexy behind the
King Sexy.
Joe says they could go on the word. That's not a bad idea. If you got a motorcycle vest, if you got a work shirt, sew them on there, glue them on there, whatever you want to do. But they're on the website right now, so take a look, check them out.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So we're
cool. Yeah, I think that's like kind of one of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what's like kind of cool though, because like even if like you're not like into punk rock, you automatically kind of like just recognize the imagery behind it and associated with it, and like it's a very like just kind of, like raw but like kind of an edgy but also fashionable look, and I think well, I mean, and again, I think that's what's like really just kind of cool about it too, like that always kind of like attracted me to punk too, was like the way that like the guys looked, like growing up, I mean, again, like listening to like Madness, the Specials, like the Rude Boys,
dude.
like the real skinheads, like the actual like non-racist guys, they're styling and profiling, man. Those guys like knew what was up. You're like, yo, those dudes are like, no pun intended, sharp. But, well, I mean, again, skinheads against racial prejudice, sharp. But no, it's but they did. They look fucking fantastic. They're like, damn, man, like that's oh, sorry. They did. They look great, and you're just like, yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So
no doubt.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, definitely with the relation of the Crush, Kill, Destroy name. Somehow, or actually, related. I actually used the Crush, Kill, Destroy Strong from Spaz, this band from California that kind of existed from the 90s up until like 2000. Those guys granted me the use of their song in the beginning and at the end of the Crush Corner, which was awesome. But still the same thing. Cool. Like they have those guys, same kind of mentality, just doing, they didn't give a fuck what they were doing. They were a power violence band, or punk, and they just did what they did. And they were like, there was nothing hung on to what they were doing. They were like, let's make this music. Let's make it raw. Let's make it heavy. Let's make it violent. and it's good stuff, man. So
it is good stuff. Really good stuff.
Yeah, no, it really is.
So a couple of things. Obviously, we're here to talk to Mark and have a good time, talk about doing what we do and doing it damn good for all of everybody watching. I have a couple of I think there's, Corey and I, we talked about some news shit that we kind of released last week, and I just remind people about that. Summer is hot. I was talking to Mark today. We're kind of anticipating going into the summer long, right? Fucking October, August and September and October, like hot.
Oh yeah.
So good thing to do is jump on the website and know that we have tanks available.
Yep.
So we did the tank, and then the newest shirt that we dropped last week, which I actually. This shirt, like, I didn't think about it as a t-shirt. It was strictly a sticker.
Yep.
I actually really dig the way it looks as a printed t-shirt. It's wicked.
Looks great.
So,
that's super cool. Yeah, that's super
Crush,
cool.
Kill, Destroy, 100% till death. I mean, I don't think it needs too much of explanation, but Corey, if you want to elaborate on 100% till death, I mean, you've been doing your thing. We've been doing our thing together. So 100% till death. Pretty heavy statement. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, man. I mean, the other day I was out and I actually put something out on Instagram with the picture of the shirt, and it just, again, whether you're that, if you're a caregiver, if you're somebody who's, fighting through whatever it is you're fighting through, or, you're trying to help people win, or whatever it is you're doing, you're doing it with that Crush, Kill, Destroy attitude, and it's at 100% till death. You're just nonstop, relentless, going after it, making it happen. not wavering. You know, I mean, again, the whole thing's very powerful. And like you said, I mean, it translates just so well. That skull looks so awesome on that shirt, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It really does.
So
it
good.
Really does. Yeah.
It's awesome.
I love it.
Super cool. Super cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This is awesome, man. I'm so stoked that Mark, dude, thank you so much, man. This was such a good time. Like, I think
of course.
we covered a lot of stuff. I could probably go on for a couple more hours because it's like I say, we're into our new groove and just trying to get through the times and do our thing.
Absolutely.
But when we have these opportunities to slow down and actually like chat with each other, whether it be in person or whether it be
Joe
like this, technologically, like I said, we have to utilize it and do what we can until we get back to a place of physical interaction and stuff like that. So, which brings us on to our giveaway. And I think I was thinking about
you better, Joe.
And I will.
You should. Last week was pretty comical, to say the least.
We've been doing stuff every week, and I find some stuff that I come up with is relatively easy to guess. We stumped a couple people with some of the giveaways that we did. So
Chuck, that was a few weeks ago.
What's that?
I said Chuck's answer was from a few weeks ago.
Chuck's answer was a few weeks ago. Just want to remind you, these guys watching. So I do the Crush Corner, and I'm able to deliver it in this format with a couple of bucks every month that comes out of my pocket. So if you want to donate a buck or two, seriously, it's about $18 for me to do the Crush Corner every month. If you want to do some PayPal stuff to me, it's cool. If you can't, just patronize, ckdclothing.com and buy some shit. And then we're going to do, typically with the giveaways, what I do is I just ask for $5 for shipping. And I think I'll do the same thing this week. Like, I want to do the giveaway. We'll do the trivia, and then whoever wins can jump on the site, take a look around. If you want a t-shirt, obviously you're going to end up with some free shit, because I just I appreciate all you guys, and I want to throw in some stickers or whatever grabs me at the moment.
Joe.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, make a donation, Joe.
It all just goes to that. And
I need some money for a little bit of makeup so I don't look like a tired parent. I've been fortunate enough that Mark is very good to me, and he shapes me up, and got my
shaping it up. Oh, look at you!
Oh,
big pimpin'!
Look at this guy! Look at this guy!
I can do an improvement and do these things. All right, so let's move on. We got Joe is very kind. I love Joe too. He's awesome. So
Joe
Mark,
is a very good man.
You're gonna appreciate this, Mark. We have all right. Let's get ready. Let's get ready for our trivia here. We're gonna do. So we're gonna do a trivia, and I think I was thinking about it, Corey. I don't know what you think. If we do we can actually do two guesses. If these guys want to stray away and do their Google thing, which is completely fine with me. Like Mark and I have been to trivia stuff, and it's you feel like the trivia police is walking around put your phone away, you can't Google that shit. But,
yeah, it's very poo-pooed upon.
Yeah, we support it here on the Crush Corner.
Crush Corner, we don't mind.
Yeah,
no, I mean, hey, sometimes you have to resort to something else other than your brain, right? You got to jump onto Google.
Any port in a storm. Any port in a storm.
Well said.
So I'm actually kind of feeling it tonight, Corey. I don't know what you think. I think we should do two giveaways. We can do.
Okay, I like it.
With
I like it.
the trivia in mind, we can do a vague answer as one winner and a specific answer as one winner. So
I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna briefly tell.
I like it.
These guys what it's about. Mark, you're gonna love this. It's just there's too many clips that crack me up. So what I'm looking for, I'm gonna show a scene from a movie.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm looking for is I'm looking for the actual location of this barbershop. Not the movie location. And I can tell you that because it's not the answer. So the movie location of this barbershop is Queens.
Okay.
But it's not the physical shoot, when they made the movie, it's not Queens.
Okay.
What I'm looking for is the city, specifically or vague. We'll do one answer as the city.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we want to do 2 giveaways, if anyone wants to take the time to come up with the legit address, bam, exact location, we'll do another giveaway. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right. So if you guys are ready, we got 13 people, 14 couple. So take a look at this.
Let's do it.
Remember, Joe, I don't want to hear crazy answers from you. You got to keep it specific. We're looking for the actual location of where this movie scene was shot. You guys ready?
Cool.
Good?
Ready.
All right.
Ready. Bring it.
That's right. He can always be Clay to me. I don't give a fuck what chain name to. He is Clay. He Clay to me. I say Clay.
Well, then you're a punch. There's 3 of you. 3 punches. You should change the name outside from Mighty Sharp to the 3 punches.
Awesome movie.
Love it. Oh, classic.
So good.
Classic.
Just
So
so
you
good.
know, you know the movie, right, dude?
Me? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
What Tracy
Amazing.
say?
So we will.
Peacock?
She's talking about you. She's talking about your laugh, dude.
Oh.
So yeah, anybody watching? So you guys know if you want to come on the Crush Corner, if you have any questions, email us at info@ckdclothing.com. And Lori actually knows the name of the movie, so we can wait. Joe is very specific, and he actually got it.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah. Nice.
Joe got it.
Congrats, Joe.
If you want to, so Joe got it. But if you want to take some time, Chuck, that's not right. But if you guys want to take some time, I'll do a second giveaway if you guys can come up with the actual address for this. So we'll do it one more time.
That's right. He can always be Clay to me. I don't give a fuck what chain name to. He is Clay. He Clay to me. I say Clay.
Well, then you're a punch. There's 3 of you. 3 punches. You should change the name outside from Mighty Sharp to the 3 punches.
The shop was the shop was Mighty. I think it was Mighty Sharp.
Yeah, Mighty Sharp.
Yeah.
Mighty Sharp.
Yeah, Mighty Sharp.
So Paul got it. That's correct, Paul.
What
so
you got?
Nice.
Yeah. So we got Joe got Williamsburg, which is it's actually great. Like I've seen pictures of the outside of the building now, and it's I think Corey, I was talking to you about it. So where they filmed the outside of this space, and now what is inside is that
that was Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, and he doesn't say anything.
Nope.
Which is nuts, but
Mighty Sharp.
The Mighty Sharp Barbershop now is actually the South Street Gallery, which hosts art shows, which is awesome.
Oh, cool.
It is very cool. Very cool.
So I need to make a note that let's see. Look at Alan Diaz.
Came in.
So I'm going to tell you something about Alan, since he's taking the time to watch this, and I'm gonna blow up his spot right now.
What's up, Alan?
Alan is a incredibly talented bass player.
Ooh,
Nice.
we got music. Nice.
Oh shit! Hold on one second.
Oh, what you got?
She's like a complete distraction, man. Like,
oh god,
Oh god, so
look
good.
at Joe. Joe's giving things away.
she's what?
You see, Joe, right under the penis comment.
So yeah. So Alan, it's so awesome that Alan jumped on tonight. I got to tell you, man. So Alan Diaz, I met a very, very long time ago, and he may or may not remember this, but Alan played, and it's great because talking about the punk scene and music, he played with Pill, Public Image Limited.
Yeah,
Incredibly,
Johnny Rotten vehicle.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
so
nice.
We crossed paths at some point, and I was a dumb 20-something-year-old guy, just talked music and said, "Oh, we should jam sometime." So Alan comes to my place. He comes down to my basement, and my friend Bill was there too, and we jam. And we're jamming, and then Alan's like, "Yeah, I was on a talk show." I was like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Yeah, I was on a talk show with my band." I look up some stuff. He shows me, and it's Pill. It's Public Image Limited.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Like, oh, what the fuck? So great dude. Heavy cyclist now. Is into at one point I think mountain biking. He can correct me if I'm wrong, and cycling and stuff.
Nice.
But incredibly talented bass player, musician. But I had the opportunity to play with Alan, and the story comes up quite often that I played with the bass player from Public Image Limited. So it's so cool to see him tune in tonight.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
That's really cool.
So I think we got. I gotta make a note and make sure, who was it, Corey, that we got? Joe got it, and
Joe got it, and then
so Joe.
But Joe made some kind of comment about giving his prize to Alan. I don't know.
Yeah, he's always Joe. He's good,
very generous of him. And then there's the Royal Penis quote again. Yeah. That's which movie is that from? Is that like, what is that movie? Tracy's got movie quotes going on. Let's go. What else we got? I own all you stuff.
Oh my god.
It's such a great story though, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
And you played with members of Fishbone at Bryac.
I did, yeah. And Big Rick jumped on tonight, which
He did.
Yeah, I met Rick through just going to shows. He's hanging out with the band and on stage and doing cool shit with them, and
nice,
so cool. Yeah, such a great dude. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Nice.
Alan was gonna buy.
That's funny.
But
yeah, great movie, Tracy.
Yeah, this has been awesome, Mark. It was such a good time. Like I said, it's tough
Absolutely.
with dealing with getting back into work and just trying to do what we have to do. We're focused on being safe right now, and just to break away from the things that are set in place for us with business. Yep. And then leaving and coming back home and not having an opportunity to either go to a bar and have a drink and bullshit or go out and see a band. I have this format and I'm super stoked about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Destroy, I mean, I'm stoked about it. Everyone's been super supportive. Corey, of course, has been super instrumental in getting the name of CKD clothing out there. And,
global domination.
Yeah.
World's I think let's show this commercial before we get out of here because I love this thing.
Yeah.
It's a good. That's it.
Sweet.
CKD
Super
Clothing is it's an idea.
Thank you, Alan.
It's a collective thought and an individual thought, and then coming back to Crush, Kill, Destroy, we can connect and be like, yeah, I'm fucking putting my best foot forward and doing my shit damn good. So
absolutely,
jump on the website, check out some swag.
Thanks everybody for tuning in, jumping on.
Yep.
It's always
Absolutely.
a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Anyone?
Thank you, Mark.
Anybody want?
Thank you guys for having me. This is super fun. So
yeah, it was awesome. Definitely find Mark at ferniesbarbershop.com. Get a lot of answers to what's expected with the COVID-19 stuff in place.
Yep.
Probably a good lots of updates on your Instagram, right, Mark?
Yeah. I mean, I try to, I try to keep up with even if I'm leaving the shop early for whatever reason, or whatever, if there's new stuff, new guidelines that they give us, I try to be as on top of that as possible, because that's really the unfortunate thing. Everybody's on their phone now, so it's people are like, hey, what's your availability like? I'll try to be like, oh, I'm booked today, but tomorrow I got XYZ available, whatever. So I love you too, Joe. I miss you, dude. Just I try.
Lord.
I try to just be on top. Yeah. No, thank you, Laura.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
But, just thank you guys for having me. This was super fun.
Oh yeah, man. Blast.
Yeah, thank you so much, dude. We have Corey, you have a couple of really exciting things coming up in the next couple weeks. I'll probably do a post with the guests we have coming on.
Yeah.
We have a on location Crush, Kill, Destroy coming up. That's going to be not from the CKD bunker and Corey's room. That's going to be really exciting. So find out info about that. There's a lot of interconnected things.
That's a big day.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
That's going to be cool.
We'll do our usual shenanigans and whatnot. But this has been great, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope everyone has a good rest of the weekend.
Yeah, man. Great job, buddy.
Yeah.
Nice job, Mark.
Guys. You guys too.
All right, homie. Peace out. Everybody continue to do what you do and do it damn good. And cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Mark.
Chin Don, 100 years.
Yes.